Hey guys, this is D Revolution with you for another video. This is a storytelling channel um, about writing stories, telling good stories, and self-publishing your books. But in order for me to build this channel, I have a lot more interesting things to talk about. So the advice is not, the things that I say is not always going to be about writing. I need to build this channel. Please like and subscribe to my page. So, this particular video, and I'm just going to be talking about things that bother me that I don't share with anybody else. Uh, so this is not necessarily a story in this video, but I want to make a point because I'm tired of hearing about it. And I also want to give my opinion on a couple of things. So, I'm a father of 4 daughters. I was there for the birth of every last one of my children. They're not all with the same woman. Um, the one thing that I could say as a black father is that, and I say this for all black men, we are so unfairly treated and so unfairly judged for not being fathers or not being there for our children. I'm tired of hearing it, because it's so far from the truth that people don't even realize. But again, it's just one of those things. It's easy to say, you know what I'm saying? And the thing that really bothers me is that to a degree, some of it is true. You have a lot of black men that are not there for their children. But what I would say is, what we don't talk about and what needs to be said is all the men, black men, who do try to be there for their children. The biggest issue that I've talked about is black women keeping these men away from their children. Like, this happened way more than we talk about. And then at the end of the day, you have a black woman that say, oh, I'm a single mom, I'm a single mom, I'm a single mom. Now, what's really a single mom? If your child's father is a part of your child's life, do you still tell people you're a single mom? Because when you're just throwing that term out, I'm a single mom, da da da, even though the father is helping, but you may not be with him. First of all, that's sending mixed messages to the child when she hears you say, "I'm a single mom," and the child was just with dad yesterday. Why is my mom saying she's a single mom? You know what I'm saying? It sends out mixed messages, but it also changes the perception with the public of how people look at dad. Because if there's a black woman always saying I'm a single mom, then the it looks like we don't take care of our kids. Now you have I see a lot of black men with their kids all the time. I have friends, but just to add on to the point that I'm making is that, and I can talk about my own personal experiences, that these women, I'm not even going to just say black women, but I'm talking about black women because I'm a black guy and I've only dealt with black women. These women, they get into their emotions and they make it difficult for a man to be there for his children. And the one thing I'm going to tell you, after a man constantly has to beef and argue just to do the right thing with his children, a man gets tired. He gets tired, like, you know what? Because the course is never on our side. You know what I'm saying? The courts favor the women, period. And at the end of the day, that's the story that you're not being told. That's the story that we don't talk about, is how black women, yeah, I'm saying black women are really, really need to be punished for that. Because then it's easy for them to say, oh, I'm a single mom, he didn't do nothing, but they're not gonna tell you everything. Tell you a quick story. I had a friend in Chicago. Um, one of my good friends. He was one of my good friends, and he had a girlfriend. Got her pregnant. You know, she had the baby. They were together. They broke up. He had a very good job. Now, this dude is taking care of his child. He's paying her light bill. He's doing all of these things that even I'm looking at him like, dude, you know what I'm saying? You know, giving something for the child while you paying bills or whatever. But he felt like, okay, well, my child is there. You know, I want to help her out or whatever. Now, we were young. Looking back at that time, I was just kind of like, man, you crazy or whatever. But they ended up breaking up. And he found another girlfriend. Now, he kept giving her the money. He was making good money. He was kept doing what he was doing. But her emotion, she was so upset that he had moved on that she started giving him problems about seeing his son, even though he's doing all this stuff. And then she made the mistake and took him to child support court. Now, this is where it get fucked up for her. She took him to child support court. Court granted her child support, but it was a lot less money than what he was actually giving her. And so at that point, he said, well, I'm gonna stick to the child support then. I'm gonna just pay the child support. I'm not gonna do all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then, not I'm not gonna get into more because I don't know many of the specifics, but I do know he still had problems spending time with his son, even though he was doing the right thing. And those are the type of things that I've seen in my community when it comes to black men taking care of children and what black women do and what they constantly do. The same story over and over and over, and we don't talk about it. And what's really sad is that other women support other women doing this. They don't speak up. They don't speak up or whatever. And also one of the things is, it's like women don't think these kids are ever gonna grow up. They don't never think 20 years ahead of how it's gonna affect the child. They focus on their emotions now, and they don't care the results of how things are gonna end up. And it's just one of those things that that makes me angry enough to actually speak about it, because with me being a father of 4 daughters, you know, is I'm very well, my turbulent relationship with 3 of my daughters, I do put on their moms, you know what I'm saying, because I feel like that I could have a better relationship with them. But what I can tell you is that I've been there. They know who I am. I did what I could for them. You know what I'm saying? 3 of them are grown now, and you know, um, you know. But I will honestly say that by the time these girls get to 21, 20, they start to get grown, they begin to take on the same attitude about men, which I'm a man, which is their father, about men in general, that black women has pushed on them, and therefore, oh, my dad ain't this, or my dad ain't cool, you know what I'm saying, my dad, because they need that story. Why? Because they've always heard their mom talk about they was a single mom. They've always heard their mom say it. You know, they always heard their mom complain as if they're a victim of men and men not doing right. So naturally, the little girl, the little girls, when they grow up to be women, they start to take on that same thing without actually having that story. Um, and I just want to say one more thing, gentlemen, in this video. Um, this guy just been coming across my news feed on YouTube. Charlie Kirk. When I first seen some of the things that, I seen, people be posting these clips and I've seen him speak, and I initially liked the way he spoke on things until, I watched a few more videos, and I was like, man, this guy he just found a delicate way to be a white man. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, what's interesting about him is that he talks about things that he cannot relate to, and he just find a good way to find the right words to make you think he knows what he's talking about. But he has no right to speak on black people. He has no right to speak on black fathers. But you know what the weakness in his arguments really is, and somebody needs to challenge him on it? He never talks about the problems that he talk about, the state of America and the things that he never talk about the root of those problems, ever. He always talk about the current state of certain problems. But ask him about the root of the problem. Why was affirmative action out there? Why do you believe black men don't take care of their kids? Or, why do you think that DEI or existed in the first place? Why do you think Black Lives Matter created in the first place? Talk to them about the root of the problem. See, the thing is about black people is this. We haven't even been out of slavery as long as we've been in it. We're still trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you have people like Charlie Kirk, white ass, sit up here with his people. They've had a 400-year head start, and we're supposed to just jump in the game. Now, even after slavery, we had to fight for our rights, fight the vote. We still had to fight. It wasn't over. The slavery was over, but we still figuring it out. But when you look at all the black billionaires today versus coming from that short period of time of just in the 60s, 50s, and 60s fighting for rights and things like that, to all the rich millionaires and billionaire black people today, that's a hell of a leap. And this shows you the power of black people. But we have yet to figure it out yet. Give us 400 years to figure our shit out, and stop making comments on things that you don't understand, that you're not going to be fair. Because if you're fair in your assessment, then you wouldn't have an argument, because you will be answering your own questions, Charlie Kirk. Now, my thing is, I just needed to say that I'm so not political at all. I'm speaking from pure common sense and observation. Now, I would ask that you subscribe to this channel if you want to learn about storytelling. But again, I'm going to be posting more videos and telling more stories and giving more of opinions. Then I have to make this channel entertaining, to a degree. It get a little boring always talking about books and things like that. But that's my opinion for today. I'm D Revolution. I'm the writer of 4 screenplays, 3 books. I'm an award-winning poet. Check out my website, blackbooksforus.com. And also like and subscribe to the page. Peace.